So we now know singer David is going to stand trial for the murder of Celeste Rivas. That is clear. The judge ruled that yesterday. And, you know, the prosecution has presented its case pretty clearly that David was lying in wait at his home as Celeste showed up. And within a 21-minute period after she walked through the door, prosecution says he killed her. And he killed her because she was about to expose their sexual relationship. She was 13, would have ruined his career.
Right.
What is the defense going to argue here? It seems to me, at least, that there are two possibilities.
And it's based on things that were said in court on that last day of the preliminary hearing.
Right. One is that Celeste was enraged at David because another girl was at his place. And
they read those text messages in court.
The text saying that
the night before, they believe, her last day, she said she was angry that there was another woman who had been at David's house. She saw it on social media and threatened. She said, "I will strangle you and tell my dad and ruin your career."
And threatened to flat out kill him. So the argument is that did she show up and attack him, and was it self-defense? Now, I'm not embracing that. I'm just saying
that's a possibility.
And why else would they raise it? Second thing,
the other one.
Second thing is that they brought up evidence that Celeste had threatened to kill herself in the past. And that, you know, it raises the specter, will they argue that she actually walked in the door, things went bad,
started harming herself,
and started harming herself.
Her life,
That's right. So they don't have to prove that beyond a reasonable doubt. All they have to do is show reasonable doubt that
if they
maybe
create some doubt. That's all they have to do. That's what the defense will try to do when the trial starts. That theory, either of those theories, did not sit well with Celeste's family, as you'd expect. We spoke to her attorney, Patrick Steinfeld, after the preliminary hearing. This is what he had to say about what he heard the defense, the doors that they seemed to be opening during the preliminary hearing.
The defense attorneys brought up some evidence that was deemed inadmissible at this preliminary hearing. They made allegations that didn't have any evidentiary basis, including the assertion that Celeste may have committed suicide or that Celeste was violent. And I personally found that very disturbing. It seems that the defense attorneys are stopping at nothing in an attempt to discredit the prosecution's evidence, and the family was horrified.
That is exactly the job of the defense lawyer.
That is
to try and discredit the prosecution. That's their job.
That's their job. It's also his job as representing the family to say that it's distasteful to them.
Let's say you were in court.
Right.
Yeah. What was the relationship between the prosecutor and the family attorney? Was there any interaction?
Yeah, I mean, the prosecutor, you know, she actually gave the family attorney a badge to allow him in every day. She got a little upset with him when he ended up actually speaking to a witness who appeared at the grand jury.
Explain that, because that's interesting. I heard about that too.
Yeah, so there was a witness who I guess allegedly had spoken and got called to the grand jury multiple times. And actually, you know, for the preliminary hearing, you could enter the raffle, which was like a little lottery where 10 people of the public were able to go in and sit in for the hearing. And this witness did get granted a ticket to go in. And as soon as Beth Silverman saw that he was in the audience, saw that, you know, Patrick Steinfeld and the witness were speaking that morning, she flipped out, threatened to remove Patrick's badge from him, and then ended up kicking the witness out of the courtroom.
That witness got kicked out that day. Right.
Correct. They clarified that Patrick and the witness didn't know each other, that the witness didn't know that Patrick was the family attorney, and the family attorney didn't know that this person was a witness. So it was a little convoluted, but definitely a drama on top of all of this.
How was the family reacting to the defense's closing argument?
The family was in and out throughout the entire time, but they did interestingly walk in right when they started uncovering that they had signed off on some consent form to let Celeste go to London with David.
Right. This was sort of laying out that the family was well aware of, at least that's what the defense is saying, that the family was aware of her relationship with David.
Well, and also there's something else, which is that
and maybe consented.
Well, I think the point they're trying to make, and I don't think legally this works, but they're trying to say that the family knew David was having a sexual relationship with Celeste, and therefore it made it okay.
But
It
also,
doesn't. It doesn't make it okay.
Based on their reaction.
But in his mind,
But also, it's not consent to saying she can go on this trip. That's not the same as saying you have consent to have sex with my 13-year-old child.
what are they thinking?
Well, I get it, but again, legally, it's not the same thing.
Well, Harvey, our chat agrees with you saying that the fact that the family knew that much about the relationship and didn't do something before it got to the point that it did, they should have never knowingly let her be involved with him whatsoever.
And I'll give you the argument. I'll give you here's what I think the defense could argue, is that legally, in terms of a crime, having sex with a minor, if the parents say it's okay, I don't think that makes it okay. I think you can still be prosecuted.
Well, they're not pursuing that. They're pursuing the murder charge.
Well, no. But they're raising having sex with, if it ever gets exposed, David's career is ruined, and therefore he's gonna kill her.
But that's something they haven't been able to connect.
I know, but here's my point: that if David, in his head, believes, well, no, they would never prosecute me because the parents said it's okay, that takes the motive away.
But that's what they've brought up too, is that Celeste never threatened prosecution. She never said she was going to go
She never
to
talked to the
cops.
police.
She said she was just going
But
to.
she did say, "I'll ruin you."
She said she'll ruin her.
So what does that mean?
Well,
his
I also
career.
think there's a big difference. If that what you said is true, that David is thinking it's okay, you better show me some evidence that a family member said you're okay. I grant you permission to sleep with my minor child.
And we'll see what the defense has there. What?
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
you're
also,
right.
David didn't lure her there. She asked repeatedly to go to David's house that week.
Hi guys, I'm Ivy. I'm from Arkansas. I don't think that Celeste willingly went to David's house to kill herself, like the defense is saying. I've read all the articles. I've been keeping up with the case. I haven't been in the courtroom, but I've absolutely been keeping up. And that just makes zero sense. I understand that the defense has to do what they have to do, but there's no way that a child, Celeste, went willingly to David's house and killed herself in his house right after she walked through the door. There is not a single thing that could be said that would make me believe that.
Again, you don't have to believe it. The issue is, can they create a reasonable doubt?
You don't have to believe it, but can they present enough that would make you even consider it a possibility?
Right. I don't know.